As African people, we had gotten to a point when or where we don't want to hear anything about leadership and politics, because it had gotten to a point when it was now something that we are looking at it as a crap. We're looking at it as scam. We're looking at it as theft, and it was something that now it never made sense, because a long time ago we used to think that when we are electing politicians, or rather when we are electing leaders into government, we are helping ourselves, or rather we are trying to find solutions for the issues and problems that we are encountering. Okay, so we used to think that when we elect leaders, we are trying to maybe create solutions to the problems that we are encountering. And it got to a point when now, time and again, we elected leaders. Time and again, we woke up in the morning, we went to the ballot to elect leaders, and at the end of the day, the problems we used to encounter remained the same. Nothing changes. Nothing used to change. A person comes to the government, he takes his own portion of time of leadership, maybe 10 years, and when it's out, he or she is out of the government, the problems that Africans have continues remaining the same. And this happened because we thought that the leaders we elected were the leaders that were leading us. But at the end of the day, we came to realize that the leaders we elected, they weren't actually serving us, the people who voted for them into the government. They were serving their masters and the people from the West. They were serving the foreigners. Okay, people who came in and manipulated our systems, people who came in and interfered with our systems of governance, and now they decided to take over without us knowing. Okay, and so sometimes we used to ask ourselves, so why is it that these leaders are behaving this way? Or rather, why is it that leaders cannot just wake up and start being competent and being responsible for the work they've been given for the people who voted for them? A long time, like for quite some time, we didn't have an answer for those questions that we used to be asking ourselves. And we came to realize that Africa isn't standing for itself. Africa is not leading itself. Africa is being led by foreign powers. There is an outside powers that are coming to Africa, and they are leading us through the leaders we elected. And so we didn't know to some point, but after some time we started having that mind. Okay, and we understood that we thought we were out of colonization, but the truth was that we were still under colonization and we did not understand. Okay, and so it really made us now hate politicians. It really made us hate leadership of political leadership. It became something irritating, frustrating, and nobody wanted to hear anything about that. Okay, so you would ask someone, so even if, what do we do so that we can be able to get a good governance? And someone would tell you all politicians are the same. And indeed, all politicians are the same, because every other time when we went to the ballot to vote into the government, new politicians or other new leaders from the ones who led us previously, they still would do the same mistakes and they still would do the same things over and over again. And all of them were the same. The question was, don't we have good people existing in Africa? Don't we have good people existing in political leadership in Africa? And seriously, we had given up with politics, with the politicians. We had given up with leaders, knowing all of them are the same, and there will not come a day that we shall have a politician or a leader who will be competent, responsible, and who will have the interests of the people, until we had Ibrahim Traore. That is where our hopes resurrected from. That is where a new phase began from. And that is where we had a turn around. That is where we had to convince our minds that indeed good people still exist. It only takes a personal decision for someone to start, for someone to decide, and for someone to say, this is what I want to do. it only takes a personal decision for someone to start and decide doing right. That is where the difference will chip in from. So until we got Ibrahim Traore, until Ibrahim Traore came in the picture, is when we knew, oh, so we still have good people in Africa, and we still can have good leadership in Africa, leadership that is going to transform, to restore, and to deliver the people of Africa from captivity, from the hands of the colonizer, and from the hand of the oppressor. Okay, from the hands of the non-masters who are hiding themselves, and they're leading us from underground. Okay, and sincerely, I want to say that Ibrahim Traore has really changed the political game. He has changed the political face. We are now seeing Ibrahim Traore as a savior. He's a very different kind of a person, very different kind of a leader who leads by the heart, not by the head and mind. He leads by the heart. The leadership that he is exploiting, the leadership that is portraying, is a leadership that comes from the deepest part of his heart. He has really changed a lot of things. Africans now have woken up, and all of us, we are feeling some kind of goosebumps when we hear anything about Ibrahim Traore, when we see Ibrahim Traore on the social media. We feel like we are just good. When we see people celebrating him, we feel so good. This young man has really changed a lot of things. I want you to watch this video. This video is a courtesy of Africa. Africa is powerful. Let's get the video.
Burkina Faso's 35-year-old president, Ibrahim Traore, is boldly defying the long-standing notion among African leaders that one must be wealthy to command respect from their people and the global community. It's extremely uncommon to witness an African president leading a modest lifestyle, particularly when their country is grappling with economic challenges. Many African leaders own luxurious cars, reside in opulent mansions, wear expensive custom-made suits, and even travel in lavish private jets, seemingly unconcerned about the plight of their people. In stark contrast to these extravagant lifestyles, Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, chooses not to prioritize luxury. Instead, his focus lies in placing the needs of his people first, even going so far as to reduce his own salary. Ibrahim Traore draws frequent comparisons to Thomas Sankara, primarily due to his modest lifestyle and unyielding dedication to his people. Much like Sankara, Traore prefers to drive a simple car and eschews the opulence of expensive suits in favor of military attire. This was evident during the Russia-Africa summit, where Traore stood out among his African counterparts by donning military combat clothing, complete with a distinctive red beret and tactical gloves. Moreover, Traore's refusal to accept a president's salary and his steadfast commitment to maintaining a salary as a military captain serve as a poignant testament to his unwavering commitment to serving his country. Ibrahim Traore made history in September 2022 by becoming the world's youngest head of state. He assumed power after he and a group of junior military officers staged a coup to oust Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba, who had taken office in a coup earlier in the year. Traore justified their actions by stating in a televised address on October 1, 2022, that Damiba had failed to effectively address the ongoing issue of insurgency. Damiba was displaced by Traore, who, despite being 7 years his junior and occupying a lower position in the military hierarchy, held the rank of capitaine, denoting a captain in the French military structure. Burkina Faso, as a former French colony, adopted the military command hierarchy from France, where ranks above capitaine include commandant, lieutenant colonel, and colonel. Although Traore's rapid ascent may have been perceived as meteoric by many, within military circles, it was anticipated. Following service in junior roles within Burkina Faso's military, Traore's career trajectory notably advanced in 2014 with his deployment to Mali as part of the United Nations peacekeeping mission, MINUSMA. Testimonies from fellow soldiers within Burkina Faso's military have previously underscored Traore's valor during his deployment to Mali, particularly in overcoming a daunting complex attack by militant extremists in the northern Timbuktu region at the age of 26. In addition to his service in Mali, Traore played a prominent role in combating insurgency in Burkina Faso between 2019 and 2022, culminating in his promotion to the rank of captain in 2020. Following the successful overthrow of Damiba's administration in September 2022, Traore, aged 34 at the time, acknowledged the potential scrutiny surrounding his relatively young age in relation to his eligibility for the presidency. Addressing government officials in October 2022, he stated, "I understand that my age sets me apart from most of you present. The events that transpired were not of our choosing, but rather a necessity." Subsequently, Traore's international prominence waned until July 2023, when he participated in the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg, alongside 16 other African heads of state, convened by President Vladimir Putin. As I told you earlier, while his counterparts donned their customary opulent suits, Traore made a distinct impression by appearing in military combat attire, complete with a red beret and tactical gloves. The dress code earned him the attention, but his speech during the Russia-Africa Summit, held between July 27th and 28th, earned him plaudits. The issue lies in witnessing African heads of state who fail to provide for their people in need, echoing the rhetoric of the imperialists who label us as militia. Consequently, they inadvertently portray us as individuals who do not uphold human rights, stated Traore. We, as leaders of African nations, must refrain from behaving like puppets manipulated by external forces. We must prioritize our sovereignty and act in the best interest of our people, Traore added. Traore strongly criticized African presidents who appear content to accept handouts. He specifically addressed President Vladimir Putin's announcement on July 27, in which he pledged to send free grain to Africa. Traore expressed gratitude for the gesture, but used it as an opportunity to convey a message to African heads of state. He emphasized the need for African leaders to prioritize achieving self-sufficiency in food production and supply for their people. Traore urged them to learn from the successes of other nations in achieving this goal. He stressed that at the next forum, African leaders should not attend without having taken concrete steps to ensure the food security and self-sufficiency of their nations. Traore's statements drew comparisons to those articulated in the early 1980s by the esteemed Thomas Sankara, who, like Traore, assumed the presidency of Burkina Faso through a coup. Leaving aside Ibrahim Traore's early life, let us now shift our focus to Traore's achievements. It is an indisputable reality that Ibrahim Traore is amassing a substantial degree of trust and backing within Burkina Faso and across the African continent in comparison to other African leaders. Just a few days prior, a multitude of citizens engaged in demonstrations, advocating for an extension of Ibrahim Traore's transitional tenure, which was originally slated to conclude in July. Subsequently, a recent charter has been ratified, permitting Burkina Faso's military leader to prolong their authority for an additional 5 years. Subsequent to the endorsement of the new charter subsequent to national deliberations on Saturday, May 25th. The deliberations, convened in the capital city of Ouagadougou, encompassed representatives from civil society, security forces, and transitional legislators, albeit the limited involvement of political parties in the process. Even after the signing of the new charter, many citizens were left unsettled. While decision-makers debated inside the conference hall about extending the transition, a group of impassioned youth gathered outside, fervently advocating for Captain Traore to lead Burkina Faso for the next 10 years. This fervent display of confidence in Traore's leadership underscores the deep-seated divisions and complexities in the public sentiment regarding the nation's future trajectory. Ibrahim Traore has been recognized for his practical approach to political ideology. He has addressed a significant economic challenge in Burkina Faso by pointing out the absence of a domestic gold refinery. Despite the country's status as a major global gold supplier, miners were forced to export raw ore to European countries for refining. In response to this issue, Traore has taken proactive steps to initiate the construction of a gold refinery within Burkina Faso. This strategic decision is anticipated to yield numerous job opportunities and contribute to the overall economic prosperity of the country. President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso has spearheaded a series of impactful economic measures, including the implementation of substantial tax reductions and collaborative efforts with the private sector to facilitate access to capital for young entrepreneurs. Notably, Traore has introduced the innovative concept of popular shareholding, aimed at privatizing government assets and ventures to enable public investment in the nation's development. This initiative saw 20% of the government-owned telecommunications company offered for public purchase, resulting in a highly successful venture that generated $60 million in revenue for critical projects. President Traore has also demonstrated his commitment to fiscal responsibility by reducing the salaries of all government ministers and officials by 20%. Furthermore, he has declined a presidential salary, choosing instead to maintain his earnings at the level of a military captain, thus exemplifying his selfless dedication to serving his country. Ibrahim astounded journalists by asserting his commitment to defending his people's right to protest, even in the face of criticism of his own actions, emphasizing his role as a servant of the people. His unwavering declarations regarding the trust placed in him and his colleagues to protect the nation's future are a welcome departure from the prevailing attitudes among leaders in many African countries, where leaders often consider themselves as sovereigns and their citizens as subjects. In the current state of Burkina Faso's leadership, Captain Ibrahim Traore serves as the president, shouldering significant responsibilities during a critical period for the nation. Despite his prominent position, he has maintained a remarkable level of discretion regarding his personal life, keeping it largely private from the public eye. While Captain Ibrahim Traore's professional endeavors and actions as a leader are well documented, there is currently no widely known or publicized information about his family or any romantic relationships. This low profile on personal matters has allowed him to concentrate on the task at hand and navigate the challenges of leadership with determination and focus. As the leader of Burkina Faso during this transitional phase, Captain Ibrahim Traore's primary focus is likely on steering the country towards stability and progress and addressing the pressing issues faced by the nation. As of the current date, information regarding the net worth of Captain Ibrahim Traore remains undisclosed. In light of his position as the transition president of Burkina Faso, specifics pertaining to his financial matters are maintained as private within the public domain.
Thank you so much. Welcome back again. We are going to have a country. We are going to have a motherland. We are going to have a new Africa very soon. Africa that everybody will crave to live in Africa. Because right now, they are still craving to live in Africa. And Africa is not yet in its good form, okay? But the moment Africa gets back or comes back to its better form, Africa will be a place where nobody will want to get out of Africa. People will come from the United States to come for and search for greener pasture here in Africa. People will come from different places to come and search for greener pastures here in Africa. From Russia, from France, from the UK, from England, they will all come to Africa searching for greener pastures because we are about to transform Africa. We are about to bring Africa back to its initial state, to how it is supposed to be. And this one is going to start with Ibrahim Traore because already he has started it. He has shown indications. It is only the only thing that remains is for us to take a step and decide to support him and unite together with him and make sure everything that he's going to do is going to be a successful, because that is what he needs from us. He only needs our support for us to stand up and say, this is what we are going to do and this is what we want to do. I really feel like I have so much love for the one and only Ibrahim Traore. I have a special kind of love for the one and only Abdurrahmani. I have a special kind of love for the one and only Goita. The Sahel nation, the three countries of Sahel. I really feel like I'm just like I'm getting obsessed with these three countries. I'm getting obsessed with them. I'm getting obsessed with how they're leading their countries, with the kind of a leadership that they actually are showing in their countries. People a long time ago, they used to say that military, if the military take power, it's not good, and it's not safe for the people of a certain country, of for the people of that country, because when military starts ruling, they rule harshly, they rule bitterly, and everything about military is so harsh and bad. And that is why I realized that is why when Ibrahim Traore took over Burkina Faso, some people were saying that it's going to be very bad, and it's going to be very tough for the people of Burkina Faso, because when military decides to lead, they lead so harshly. But we have seen a very big and huge difference. Have you seen videos where when Ibrahim Traore comes out in public, people celebrate, people sing, eh? People break down in tears because everybody wants to touch him, everybody wants to greet him, everybody wants to have a smell of him, because they feel like this is a Messiah. They feel like it is someone who has come, a savior, someone who has come to deliver them from the hands from captivity. Yeah. Okay, and so it has really changed everything. Like, it's not about the military ruling. It's not about the harsh ruling. Like, it's not about military. It's about a single person. It's about a personal decision from a certain individual. It is not I think a collective caliber. It is not a collective characteristic, or rather a collective behavior. It's an individual behavior, an individual caliber, because people I realized different people have got different characteristics, and there's some kind of people, despite the fact that they're military or they're in the military, they just have a heart of a human being. And that one is Ibrahim Traore, and the other two, the Abdurrahmani and Goita. They are people who have got the love of people, and they really do love people. They know that they were born of a human being, and every other people around them, they were also born of human being, and therefore the interests of people is at hand with them. Okay, so I have found it so uh, excellent. It is nice, it's wonderful, it's good, and I really do love it so much. I love how they're doing their things. I love how they're running their governments. I love how they're treating the people of their nation. I love everything they do. I love everything about them. And a time is coming when all of Africa is going to be the same. We are praying so much, and we are going to fight so that Africa one day will come back to its initial state, to how it is supposed to be. Uh, Africa will get back to its culture, the black culture that we know, the black culture that we understand. Okay, we don't want to continue living the life that does not belong to us. We are tired of pretending. We are really tired of pretending. We want to live like Africans once again. Once again, we want to live like Africans. Once again, we want to live like Africans. And we are praying so much that may God continue strengthening Sir Captain Ibrahim Traore, Doctor, King. Every big name, we give it to him. Every name that sounds big, we give it to him. Even if he's not a professor, he is a professor from today. He is a king from the very day he assumed power. Every big title belongs to Ibrahim Traore, whether he owns it or he doesn't own it. We as Africans, we are giving it to him. And it's our prayer that every other African nation will have one person who will rise up and change the political game in his or her country. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Atamba Heti from African Streamline. I tell you every day, whenever you find yourself in African Streamline, you are a black brother, You are a black sister from Caribbean, from diaspora, from Africa in particular. Anytime you find yourself in African streamline, just know you are at the right place. Just know that this is your space and this is home. Africa is home. And anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as black people. Black life matters. Black people matters. Africans matter. I do matter. You do matter. You are important to me because you are my black brother. And I love you so much. Thank you so much. Do let me know what you have to say in the comment section. I am a Tamba Haiti, as I've said. And I salute you so much. Adios, guys.